Okay, we're to number 21. And I'll tell you what, number 21, we're going to have a lot of perseverance because we have to work out or try to work out each of the choices so we can figure out how to help Guadalupe. Because Guadalupe wants to solve 4 times 59. And they give us a lot of different choices to try to figure that out. So we're going to have to figure out each one to see if it works. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to solve this myself. The way that I like to solve it. I hope you already solved it yourself, the way you like to solve it. And I'm going to go 4 times 50 plus 9, because I like the distributive property. Whoops, you can't see that, sorry. I like the distributive property. I like to play tag. So first I'm going to go 4 times 50. 4 times 5 is 20, and then I have 1 0, so multiply that by 10, I get 200. Plus 4 times 9 is 36, which equals 236. So now I have the total product, the total product of 4 times 59 to work with. And now it makes sense for me to go ahead and try to work out each one of these choices to try to get a total product of 236. So the first one says, in A, they say 4 times 60 minus 4 times 1. Well, can we use it? Can Guadalupe use it? Well, we don't know. We're going to solve to find out. If she can get a product of 236, then the answer is yes, she can use it. So they rounded 59 up 1. So we're going to multiply 4 times 60 instead of 4 times 59. But then you're going to have to take out that 4 to see if it works. So 4 times 6 is 24. Times 10 is 240. Minus 5 equals 236. Well, yeah, matches, doesn't it? So A is definitely a good choice. All right, let's do B. Let's see. They say 4 times 50 times 9. Whoa, 50 times 9, what? We know that can't be right because the correct distributive property is 50 plus 9, not 50 times 9. So I'm not even going to waste my time trying to figure that out. Okay, so C, 4 plus 50 times 9. Well, again, they didn't set up the distributive property properly, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure that out either. And then let's look at D. They say 4 times 50 plus 4 times 9. Well, yes. Isn't that what we did up here? We played tag with our 4 times 50, and then 4 times 9. 4 times 50, 4 times 9. Let's verify and make sure. 4 times 5 is 20, times 10 is 200, plus 36, because 4 times 9 is 36, then equals 236. So yes, that will work. That matches. All right, let's go to E. E, they say 4 plus 50 plus 9. Well, there's no multiplication in that at all. That doesn't even make sense. So we're going to cross it out. So our 2 correct choices would be A and D. Now, in order to get full credit for this problem, I want to see all of this worked out. If you have not tried it and you're not showing me that it doesn't make sense and how you know this information, then I won't give you full credit. All right, now I am going to go on to number 22. So I'm going to make a line here because I didn't need my whole paper, and I'm going to make 2 more quadrants so I can get 2 more problems out of this. So number 22. We need to help Alani and Hunter. They made 13 dozen cookies and 25 dozen cupcakes. Now, if you don't remember, 1 dozen equals 12, okay? That I think will help us all together. It says estimate the total for A. So in A, we want to estimate. And then for B, we want the actual total. All right? The total what? Well, the total they made, right? So how do we work that out? We have to, 1 dozen equals 12, so we have 13 dozen and 25 dozen. How many cupcakes does that equal? Well, our hidden question, our hidden problem, I should say, is what does this equal together so that we can multiply it by our 12. So let's estimate by tens and see if that will work. So 3 is 4 or less. We're going to let the 10 rest. So that's 10 dozen cookies. I better do this so I can remember which is which, because they both start with a C. And then 5 is 5 or more. We're going to raise the score of the 2, and we're going to do that 30. Okay, so I'm going to add 30 plus 10 is 40 total dozen. And now I can round my dozen. It's 4 or less, so we're going to let the 1 rest. And we're going to multiply by 10. So we will get, remember, we're using our trick. We're going to multiply our basic fact, 1 times 4. And then we have 10 times 10, which is 100. So they made 400 dozen is our estimation. That's A. Okay. Now let's compare that to a real multiplication problem. First we have to add 25 plus 13. I'm going to do, cheapers, I keep breaking my pencil. I'm going to do a number 22B, so I'm going to make this A, and this is B. I want to do 13 plus 25. 5 plus 3 is 8, 2 plus 1 is 3. So that's 38 dozen baked. Okay, now we need to find out how many that actually is. We know that 12 equals 1 dozen, so we have to multiply this by 12. Excuse me. I'm going to use the regular algorithm. 2 times 8 is 16, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I'm done with that 2. I'm going to make it a 0. 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 3 is 3. 6, 15, 456 dozen is the actual total. Now, was our first amount reasonable? Let's take a look at our estimation. Make it smaller so you can see it. Is 400 dozen, not dozen, 400 items, because that's how many are in this many dozen multiplied together. So 400 items were baked versus a total of 456 items. Is that reasonable? Yes, it is reasonable. All right, turn the page. Go to number 23. It's the first time I use the back of the page this time. Number 23. Number 1 says, number 23, the first part says write all partial products, and then the second set of directions is to solve. Well, I want to write it exactly like I see it in the problem. So they have 1 2, 3, 4 boxes of partial products, and then 1 box for the total. All right, let me make this bigger. It's easier for you to see. All right, so I'm gonna put my equal sign here. First, I'm gonna multiply 5 times 7, and that's 35. Then I'm gonna multiply 5 times 30, and that's 150. I'm done with my 5. I can make that a 0, because then it becomes 30 times 7 and then 30 times 30. So I want 30 times 7 and then 30 times 30. 3 tens is the 30. Whoops, you can't see, sorry. 3 tens is 30. That's why it's 5 times 30, because it's 3 tens here, which is 150. And I didn't make them in a row the right way. So actually, instead of making a line, I'm just going to redo it. I don't like how not neat that is. And it doesn't help me when you're not neat, because it makes me look everywhere to see how you worked out the problem. So this was a 5. 5 times 7 is here, 35. 5 times 3 tens is 30. So 5 times 30 is 150. I'm done with that 5. Now I have 30 times 7, so 30 times 7, and then 30 times 30. That's where I got that from. You can see it better now. So my basic fact is 3 times 7 is 21, times 10 is 210. 3 times 3 is 9, 10 times 10 is 100. 30 times 30 is 900. And then, look at that. And I do a very good job of lining my numbers up. 5 ones, 8, 9 tens, 9, 10, 11, 12 hundreds. 1,295 is the total. So yours should look like this. All right, let's go to number 24. And looks like it's our last problem. Yay! And it just says find 6 times 875, and you can do it any way you want. I'm going to use the box method. 875. I need a stronger lead. I need to invent a stronger lead for myself, because I break it all the time. So I broke up 875 into 875, and then I multiply it by 6. 6 times 8 is 48, times 100 is 4,800. 6 times 7 is 42, times 10 is 420. I forgot to put the eyeballs in there. So this is 6 times 800, and then 6 times 70. And this one is 6 times 5, which is your basic fact of 30. And then we have 4,800 plus 420 plus 30. 0, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5,250. Now here's your challenge. Is the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So this means 6 times 875 is 5,250. Well, there's the inverse. So it would be 5,250 divided by 875 should equal 6, or 5,250 divided by 6 will equal 875. Now, I'm going to do the inverse operation down here for it. So it's number 24. Let's label it inverse, which is division. Inverse operation of division. Here's my challenge. And you can even write challenge. So we have 5,000. Move it over so we can have enough room. 250 divided by 6. Now I'm choosing 6 because I don't know my 875 times tables. It's what times 6 equals 5. We know nothing. That's a place value holder. Then it becomes what times 6 equals 52, or gets close without going over. Well, we know 9 times 6 is 54, so 8 times 6 is, my guess, 48 would be as close as we can get. 8 times 6 equals 48. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to bring down the 5 because we have an empty spot here. What times 6 equals 45 without going over? Let's see, 8 times 6 is 48, so it must be 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 is less than 6, so we know that that is a good choice there. We're not done yet. We have an open spot and a 0 to place here. What times 6 equals 30 without going over? Well, I know 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 6 equals 30. I have 875, 6, and 5,250. That matches. I'm gonna scroll out for a second so you can see the whole thing. All right, now I know some of it's sideways, but that is okay. When we do the inverse operation of multiplication, we do division. 5,250, 5,250 divided by 6, divided by 6. And we got 875. So everything matches. Our inverse operation checks out. We're good to go. And that's it. There's your topic 1 through 4 review.